China's reusable spacecraft revolution, a new era in global aerospace ambitions.
Go on, please.
Sure, let's continue. Among its most significant breakthroughs is the successful launch, orbit, and safe return of reusable spacecraft and satellites. These missions signal not only technological progress, but also strategic aspirations to compete with and possibly surpass the United States and other global players in space exploration. By developing reusable systems, China aims to drastically cut costs, increase launch frequency, and open the door for advanced experimentation and commercial applications, from scientific research to same-day global delivery networks.
Please, go on. I'm sure there's more.
Absolutely, let's continue. China's first notable reusable mission occurred in September 2020 with the secretive launch of the Chongfu Xiong-Xi'an Hangtianqi aboard a Long March 2F rocket. This experimental vehicle, believed to be a spaceplane akin to the U.S. Air Force's X-37B, spent 2 days in low Earth orbit before returning safely to the Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center. Although Chinese authorities released minimal technical details and no imagery, official state media declared it a major success, emphasizing that the mission would offer convenient and low-cost round-trip transport for the peaceful use of space. In tandem, China's Shijian-21 and later Shijian-19 reusable satellites represented a more open civilian scientific face of this broader strategy. The Shijian-19 launched in September 2024 and recovered in October, carried experimental payloads for microbial breeding, new materials testing, and technology verification. According to News China, this satellite is capable of over 10 reuse cycles and can carry 500 kilograms of payload back to Earth. It marked a historic first for China and a giant leap forward in sustainable orbital missions. If you'd like, I can continue with the next sections on the commercial and strategic implications, or we can format this into a final document. Just let me know what you need.
Nah. I mean, I would just say keep going. Don't let me stop you. Tell me everything.
You got it. Let's keep going with the essay.
Please, go ahead.
Sure, let's continue. Though many of these missions are described in civilian terms, their dual-use nature is clear. The secrecy surrounding China's spaceplane program, its alignment with military infrastructure, and the silence on specific technologies suggest strategic motives. These spacecraft can support rapid response surveillance, on-demand satellite deployment, and even anti-satellite capabilities, depending on future use cases. Simultaneously, China's commercial sector is becoming a key player. A startup has successfully launched and landed a reusable rocket aimed at enabling Alibaba's ambitious one-hour global delivery network. A concept once considered science fiction is now undergoing active development with support from Taobao, Alibaba's e-commerce arm. This indicates a future where reusable rockets power same-day international logistics, offering a complete disruption of the shipping industry. Additionally, China has demonstrated sea-based vertical landing capability for reusable rockets, akin to what SpaceX achieved with Falcon 9. In September 2023, a rocket launched from a barge successfully landed back on a floating platform, highlighting China's increasing flexibility in launch environments and orbital access. The reusability revolution, what's at stake? Reusable space technology offers a compelling value proposition: reduced costs, lower waste, and greater launch frequency. Historically, missions required massive investment for single-use rockets or capsules. With reusability, China can spread infrastructure costs over multiple missions, whether for scientific experiments, commercial payloads, or military surveillance. However, this is not guaranteed to always reduce costs. NASA's space shuttle was partially reusable, but notoriously expensive to refurbish. What China has done differently is apply lessons from failures of past programs while watching the rapid success of companies like SpaceX. The CSSHQ, Shijian satellites, and reusable rockets for Alibaba show China is building an ecosystem of reuse across domains, from experimental orbiters and vertical landers to full-scale logistics systems. I'll continue with the final sections on the geopolitical implications and conclusion. Just let me know if you have any specific requests.
Yeah, no, let's go ahead and just finish the last two.
Sounds great. Let's wrap it up with the final sections.
Please, go ahead.
Absolutely. Let's finish it up.
Shall be the last two sections.
Sure, let's finish up the last two sections.
Oh no, ChatGPT. Come on. What were the last two sections you were going to tell me?
No worries, let's get those last two sections racked up.
I'm not able to hear you. You're kind of going dead on me for a second. Come on, come on. What was the last two paragraphs in the essay that we had?
Sorry about that. Let's finish up the last two sections of the essay. Geopolitical and strategic implications. The development of reusable spacecraft is not merely technological, it's also geopolitical. By achieving autonomous, cost-effective space access, China can solidify its independent launch capabilities while building international prestige. Countries in Africa, South America, and Southeast Asia may increasingly turn to China for affordable space launches or satellite partnerships. Moreover, as competition between the US and China intensifies, space may become the next domain of soft power projection. From Mars probes to lunar bases, every reusable success boosts China's credibility and global leverage. An epochal shift in aerospace, China's advancements in reusable space technology, whether through classified military space planes, scientific return missions, or commercial ventures, signal a profound shift in how nations engage with space. Once a domain of Cold War-era prestige, space is now about efficiency, frequency, and access. Reusable spacecraft aren't just a technical achievement, they're a foundation for the next era of aerospace dominance. Whether for peaceful scientific discovery, military strategy, or same-day global delivery, China's expanding reusable launch infrastructure ensures it will play a pivotal role in shaping humanity's future beyond Earth. And there we have it. Let me know if you need any adjustments or if you'd like it formatted in a specific way.
All right, now use all that information for the questions that I have. I'll go in order. I'll ask you each question. After I do, you answer, and then you'll ask for number two, and that is how I will cue it. Okay, first things first. How long has China been trying to develop a system to, go to space? Obviously, I know that they've probably done it way earlier. They're literally, if I'm not mistaken, and this is a comment for the audience. I know that I'm going to make the ChatGPT a little bit confused, so I'll round back to my answer again. But when were the Chinese first successful at getting to space?
China first successfully launched a human into space on October 15th, 2003. That was when Yang Liwei became the first Chinese astronaut, or taikonaut, to orbit Earth aboard the Shenzhou 5 mission. That marked China's entry as the third nation in the world to send humans into space after the Soviet Union and the United States. All right, ready for question number two?
Yeah, so how long has it taken, China to develop what it has today in terms of space infrastructure?
China has been steadily building its space infrastructure for several decades. Starting with the launch of its first satellite, Dongfang Hong-1, in 1970, China gradually advanced its capabilities. By 2003, they achieved human spaceflight with Shenzhou 5. Over the past 2 decades, China has developed space stations, lunar missions, Mars rovers, and now reusable spacecraft and satellites. So it's taken about 50 years to reach their current level of advanced space infrastructure. All right, ready for question number 3?
What is its position currently in the world? Let's put who has the most advanced at number 1, and then let's make a list of 5.
Sure, here's a general idea of the top 5 space powers in the world, based on overall advancement. Most likely the United States, SpaceX, and other private companies. The US leads in terms of technology, human spaceflight, Mars missions, and reusable rockets. With its rapid advancements in reusable spacecraft, lunar missions, and its own space station, China is generally considered the second most advanced. Russia, historically a leader in space, Russia continues to play a key role, especially with its Soyuz program and contributions to the International Space Station.
Okay, what was number 4 and 5?
Sure. Continuing from where we left off, 4, European Space Agency. ESA represents a collaboration of many European countries and has notable capabilities in Earth observation, planetary exploration, and scientific missions. 5, India. The Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, has made significant strides, especially with cost-effective missions to the Moon and Mars. And that rounds out the top 5. All right, ready for your next question?
What is the world's expectation of China's future capabilities in space?
The world's expectation for China's future capabilities in space is quite high. Many anticipate that China will continue to expand its presence in low Earth orbit, including operating its own space station. There's also a lot of interest in their lunar exploration plans, including potentially sending astronauts to the moon. Additionally, China's Mars exploration and advancements in reusable rocket technology suggest that they will become a major player in both scientific and commercial space endeavors. Let me know our next question.
How many satellites has China and America launched into orbit, both commissioned and decommissioned?
As of recent data, the United States has approximately 5,184 satellites in orbit, while China has about 628. These figures include active satellites, but the exact number of decommissioned satellites isn't readily available. Both countries have launched many satellites over the decades, and their numbers continue to grow. All right, what's your next question?
What would be the most disappointing outcomes of China's space, as well? What would be the most actually, no, go ahead and answer the first part of the question.
One of the most disappointing outcomes for China's space program would be if they face significant technical setbacks or mission failures that slow their progress. Another disappointing outcome could be a lack of international collaboration, leading to a more fragmented global space effort. Additionally, if China's space missions were seen as overly militaristic or secretive, that could lead to increased tensions and competition rather than peaceful cooperation. All right, let me know the next part of your question.
What would be the largest dream outcome of the program?
The largest dream outcome for China's space program would likely be achieving major milestones like landing astronauts on the moon and establishing a lunar base. Another dream outcome would be a successful Mars mission, with humans on board and perhaps even leading international cooperation in space exploration. Ultimately, these achievements would solidify China's role as a leading space power and inspire future generations worldwide.
All right, let's see. I only have one more question. How many successful and failed launches has China had as a collective, both governmental and private companies?
As of now, China's Long March rocket series has conducted 580 launches with 561 successes, 10 failures, and 9 partial failures, giving a success rate of about 96.7%. Private companies have also seen success. For example, Galactic Energy's Series 1 has achieved 19 successful launches out of 20, and CAS Space's Kinetica 1 has had 6 successful missions out of 7. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to know.